And so this is actually one of the waterfalls that not many of the people who hike this trail really talk about. So it's kind of hidden off the trail. Can't get to it, but I could point it out to you.
Today we're in the Wildwood Regional Park,
I was telling you about that goes up.
and we're gonna hike Paradise Falls and the Indian Creek and the Indian Cave Trail.
So we have made it to the parking lot that takes you to Paradise Falls. When you get there, you're actually gonna come up through a suburban neighborhood, and then it kind of leads somewhat to a wilderness type area. So we're gonna go through the trail right up through here. So there are some restrooms right there. And just remember to bring plenty of water and be wary of mountain lions and snakes. Multiple ways to get there. This is one way, this is another way. We're gonna stick with this way. So this right here is the uphill. You do get opened up with these nice rocks. Later on, we're gonna come back around this loop, and there's supposed to be a creek called the Indian Creek. And next to the Indian Creek, close to it, is an Indian cave. All right, so up there, I believe, is Lizard Rock. We're actually just gonna go straight up here. And here's a closer look of Lizard Rock, which is something I thought I'd point out. So down into that canyon is where we're gonna head up to, but we're approaching the teepee. Okay, so we made it to the teepee, and you're gonna shoot right to get to the waterfall. So this spot is a nice overlook. You could overlook the canyon, get great views. I don't know if we could see the waterfall from here since we're higher up. Let's check it out. Now we're just gonna wind our way down this canyon right here. So this right here is a pretty steep drop off, but there's a canopy of trees going through the canyon. So we are gonna get some shade down there. So where that gentleman is coming up, that's the part where we're gonna go down. Right before we get there, we're gonna see the sign letting us know to head this way. So on top, there's actually a nice overlook right here, which we could probably come back to. But we are at the top of the waterfall. And down there, you can see the pool. We're just gonna kind of just loop around here and go down these stairs really fast. The top of the canyon, this is the pool. It's a pretty big pool. All right, so there it is, Paradise Falls. So now we're gonna head up here, or up here, and we're gonna try to get to the Indian Cave and then head back down to the parking lot. Even though it's dirty water and it's not, you know, deep in the wilderness, it's a local hike within Simi Valley. Definitely recommend checking it out. So we are now at the top of the falls again, and we're gonna head up straight along this fence. It'll take us to both the Indian Cave, and there's a waterfall on Indian Creek as well. And back above the canyon, you do get amazing views along this fence. You can see you got a upper tier waterfall with another pool. And of course, you can see all the canopy of oak trees along the canyon, making this an amazing hike. While this is a nice hike, the area is closed off from the public. I don't know what's in that water, but yeah. All right, so one thing I like about this trail is all of the benches that they have. You could come here, bring a tuna sandwich, have yourself some coffee, and just relax along the creek. And this is just nice. Nice local hike. Feels like you're in the wilderness, even though you're in the suburbs. And you got these nice little ducks going in there. This is another reminder that you're not in the true wilderness, as you cannot camp here or make fires. So we are now being exposed on the hike again, so we're out of the tree portion. Okay, so we are about 0.2 miles from the cave. So we have reached a junction right here. So you see this bridge right here? We're actually gonna go where that sign says. It says Little Cave, 0.1 miles, so it's gonna be straight ahead. And this is gonna be a nice little cave. You're gonna love it. Okay, that right there is a cave. Okay, so now we're in front of the cave. I'm just gonna go up these stair steps to check it out now. Okay, so we could just climb up through these rocks. It's not a very big climb, but on the side there's like a little trail that takes you up, because I believe there's a hole coming down into the cave. Okay, so I'm crawling through the cave and I'm about to head up to this opening right now. All right, so here's that little hole I was telling you about that goes up above the cave, but we're gonna climb up through it. And you get views of the canyon through here. So that right there is the trail that will take you back down that I was telling you about earlier. And you can just go back right into the cave, or you could loop back around this way, whichever you're comfortable with. But the trail's gonna merge back right here. We're gonna go back up here through the parking lot. So it's essentially a loop. I'm gonna head back down through the cave tunnel. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I could see that other waterfall on the way back down, because there was another one on Indian Creek, but I'm gonna see if it's still there or not, which I'm sure it is. So we are back where that bridge is at. Okay, so once you get past where the bridge is at, we're gonna merge onto Two Springs Trail. So at this point, we're just gonna go straight ahead and follow the creek to get to this other waterfall. And that is the cave we came up through a little while ago. So you could actually see it from a distance. We got some rabbits down here. Pretty neat nature going on. We are just going to stay along this trail, but at this point we're essentially in the woods again. But I could already see a small cascade. This is actually one of the waterfalls that not many of the people who hike this trail really talk about. So it's kind of hidden off the trail. You can't get to it, but I could point it out to you. So, but sometimes you miss certain things about hikes, and that's why sometimes it's always good to go back. So this is the waterfall, so I'm gonna head back to the car. And where those rocks are, that's where the car will be parked, because it's just an entire loop that goes all the way back down into the canyon. And there's multiple turn-off trails to the side that just kind of meet back around. So that's the good thing about this trail, is if you do get lost, you could just loop back around. That concludes the end of the hike. And you can see the parking lot is right there. I came up to where those people are walking up there, so reminds me a bit of the Santa Monica Mountains, but great hike.